this conflict that was touched on by everybody almost, but especially by Professor Carlos Ruiz. The political support also, the political input, which was presented also by our sister Union from the Basque country in Spain, and finally the popular and the civil society point of view that was highly presented by Senator Pierre Gallon, who is the president of the European Movement of Solidarity with Western Sahara. Of course, everybody, it became now clear for everybody this relation between the denial of the right of self-determination in Western Sahara and its immediate impact on the ongoing violations of human rights in Western Sahara. So I would this report that was produced by the UN Human Rights Commission in 2006 was referred to by basically all the panelists, and where it was stated very clearly at the end of the report in the part of the recommendations, the first point that if we want to settle all the violations of human rights in Western Sahara, we need first of all to allow the people of Western Sahara to exercise their inalienable right of self-determination. But unfortunately, that report is still under embargo and not yet officially published by the UN because of the Moroccan veto against that, against the conclusions of that report and the support of some countries in this regard. So I've just seized the opportunity to call for the release of that report in an official manner. Exactly the way the argument we are presenting on the issue of the rights of self-determination, that according to the international law should be genuine and transparent and within the context and the arrangement of the international legality, the international law, and especially the 1514 resolution. The rights of self-determination should be respected in that regard, and all propositions that are part of this framework, of course, they are not going to serve as any basis to settle the conflict in Western Sahara. The same way we have been saying that that Morocco is claiming now that the majority of the Sahrawi people feel identified with being Moroccans and that they are happy under the Moroccan rule and all of that, and that there is just a small group of the Sahrawis that are still under the control of the Polisario, and they are not free to express their will, but they are desperate really to get the first occasion to join Morocco and all of that. If that was the case, the simple question, why not organizing the referendum of self-determination, and everybody will be happy, and let those people really express their attachment to Morocco if that is the case. So just the denial of the right of self-determination, and the people of Western Sahara will express freely their will, that's the proof that the overwhelming majority of the people of Western Sahara, as any other colonial people, would really vote massively for the independence and the freedom. So the same thing that we see here, and I think that some of the NGOs will be present here, that Morocco also at the different points of the debate within the sessions of the UN Security Council, some of those NGOs will come here and claim that the Polisario Front is violating the rights of the people of Western Sahara, and that crimes are committed, and all sort of propaganda that they come to. But if that's the case, why Morocco is blocking the UN to have any mandate over the human rights in the territory? So it's Morocco that is blocking and refusing the MINURSO to get any mandate over the human rights in Western Sahara, not the Polisario Front. And it's Morocco that is expelling systematically hundreds and hundreds of observers, of journalists that they have tried during the last 10 years to visit the territory of Western Sahara. And you have most certainly came across with report of journalists that they have been spied, that they have been followed on a systematic manner by the police forces in the occupied territories. This is not a statement of the Polisario, this is basically a statement of all international human rights organizations. So if Morocco is sure about its well-doing about the human rights in the territory, why not allowing the MINURSO to get that mandate? Why not also allowing the UN Human Rights Council to continue sending the technical visits to the territory of Western Sahara? At the Polisario front, we have expressed it, and we renew our commitment, and we will renew our will to allow the UN, to allow the MINURSO to come to the refugee camps. The refugee camps receive on an annual basis over 10,000 of foreign visitors to the refugee camps. We have all international organizations, both humanitarian but also on human rights, that they have their bases, their offices on a permanent manner in the refugee camps. That's not the case really in the occupied part of Western Sahara by Morocco. So just the mere fact that Morocco is opposing the presence of any witness in the occupied part of Western Sahara, that's really the proof that Morocco is violating and wants really to hide all the crimes that are committed on a daily basis from the international opinion knowledge. So to conclude on the overview of this, of course, the Sahrawi people, all what we demand is one day of free ballot, that the Sahrawis will cast their ballot and decide what will be the final status of the territory of Western Sahara. And that's the core issue in the conflict of Western Sahara. So Morocco is now speaking about a proposed autonomy for Western Sahara, and it's just, in addition to the fact that it is in direct contradiction with the international law and the norms and the 1514 UN declaration. In addition to that, it's also in contradiction with the common sense of having, of working towards a political solution of win-win formula for everybody. So the autonomy is basically win-lose formula, that Morocco is going to win the sovereignty over the territory prior to any consultation of the will of the people of Western Sahara, and the Sahrawis will lose everything. Because what was and still at stake in the conflict is the final status of the territory in Western Sahara. So that, and was exactly the way Pierre was referring to, that was the last move that all colonial powers tried to block the normal course of the decolonization process, but it has been proven in the past that it was not a solution, and it will never be a solution in Western Sahara. And to conclude, I think it's for Morocco, but also the people that support Morocco, we shouldn't really underestimate the capacity of the people to resist and eventually win the war of liberation. The Sahrawis, they have proven really to be the real people of the desert with an unlimited capacity of resistance, and we are there, and then we will continue to resist and to resist just for the respect of the international law, the international legality, and the human rights in the territory of Western Sahara. So underestimating the capacity of the people, it has been always the biggest mistake of all colonial powers. And let's just see what is happening now and what is going on in Palestine. So 9 months ago, nobody would have thought that Palestine would come strongly again on the radars of the interest of the people, and that the people are thought that the Palestinian cause is lost, now are people that are convinced and working towards a real solution for the conflict in Palestine that would respect the rights of sovereignty, self-determination, and freedom for the Palestinian people. So we don't want really the Sahrawi people, we don't want in our region in North Africa that we will be having a similar scenario. We have worked and committed ourselves to a political solution. And we have made a very clear proof of being cooperative, of being generous in terms of contributing to that. The process will move on, but unfortunately, on the other side, the Morocco was not really was not cooperative, and at the level of the UN Security Council, there is no really an action in that side. We hope that we will not be forced again, and that the region, our region in North Africa, will be forced to go through the same process that is happening now in the Middle East, for the international community to know again that nobody should underestimate the capacity of the people to resist and to ultimately get their rights and get the right to freedom and independence. I thank you.